My Gavan and Melonine, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirthan, and I head up the team that has created Divide and Conquer these past few years. And welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the realm of Lothlórien. From our capital of Khazad-dum, we spread forth out into the world. In the Vol, combination of vote and poll. In the Vol, last episode, there was overwhelming support to give Dor Norhak to Mordor, but let me just touch on one aspect. Many people disliked it because it is essentially cheesing the game, is what we like to call it. And I understand that. Oh, fools are actually going to fight it. But I'd just like to make clear the distinction. I'm not blocking Mordor off because I fear that they'll come and crush us and the campaign will end, and it's just me using diplomacy to create another Ardanium situation. That was never the question. The reason we don't want to fight against Mordor is because if I am not mistaken, we have fought against Mordor in almost every single video that has been a Let's Play on this channel. I use the term almost, and I would stress that when you reply to that comment, because I'm sure sometimes we haven't, but we mostly have fought against Mordor. They've always cropped up some way or another in almost every campaign that we've fought. And so in an attempt to not repeat that, and to fight as someone different, which is the whole point of these Total War campaigns, I am potentially, or I had suggested that we give our settlements to someone allied to Mordor so that they would not attack us. And as I say, the vote was overwhelmingly in favour of giving our settlements to someone else. And it will be Harad who we will give our settlements to. But so I'm pleased to see that that has prevailed, because I agree, because I don't really want to fight Mordor because we fought them a lot. And it's just spam after spam after spam after spam, and it's dull. Whereas when we fight the Anduin and Rohan, that'll be far more interesting. So there we are. That was the vote. I also do plan on whichever one ends first. Hopefully we've Gundabad is far enough along by then. But at the moment the plan is very much that whichever one of these two campaigns ends first, either the Ardanium or Lothlórien, the successor campaign will, of course, just be Gundabad. We won't put it to a vote. We will just do a Gundabad campaign. And of course, that is the major point of the channel, is to show off new features and factions for Divide and Conquer. And so I would be foolish not to show off our most recent faction. I should also like to talk very quickly in this opening introduction. I should also like to extend my thanks to all of you for the overwhelming reply to the Gundabad video. So many comments on that video, and all of them, most of them, constructive and interesting. And so I thank you to all of you for submitting your interest in Gundabad and trying to shape the faction rather than just moaning that we're adding another faction that's totally not lore accurate. Which some people do, of course, do. Let me just turn my headset down a moment, sorry. There we are. I find myself shouting more when I think the sound coming into my ears is louder, when in actual fact the sound does not change. The game records it at the game's sound. But I think I shout. Oh, you guys aren't firing anything. I can't help but notice, friends, that the enemy is closing in on us. And they actually appear to be ignoring us. No, look, there we are. They've changed. Right, Celeborn, go in and finish them. You guys flank behind them. You guys flank behind them. You guys just go there. You're shooting, and you can come over there. Oh, come off it, you scummy Orc Raiders. Bet that'll make them rout. Yep, there we are. Right, send in the cavalry to finish them off. Cavalry, go and get them. You shoot those raiders. You shoot those raiders. You shoot those raiders, and you stop and shoot those raiders.
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
I understand that everyone is shooting the raiders. Is this correct? Yes, it is. Right, there we are. Next. You're elf, so you should be able to run quickly. So run down there. Speed it back up again while our armies move into position. I'm just trying to get these orcs out of the way, otherwise our army will stop exactly like that. And they'll try and capture orcs instead of move where I'm telling them to move. I don't know why they're so interested in the melee units that we've got. They're just suiciding themselves. But our units are faster than them, so if that's what they're after, then we'll just run them back up here, forcing them to turn around and run back into our archer fire. Oh, those ones are running away though, but this one is coming back. Everybody open fire and bring them down. 63... 6... Right. Hold your fire. Cease fire. Capture them before the enemy arrives, please.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
And fire again. Every single last one of them is to die here this day.
Our cowardly foe
Finish them all!
It's time to press the attack.
I'm very eager to talk about the various other things that, only within the few days since that video was put up, the various ideas and changes that we're already planning for Gundabad. But, that's an incredible tally. 219, Berio Iengalaith. Well done. But I feel like that will take away from whatever the next developer diary will be, possibly next week. Much is changing week on week with Gundabad at the moment, so rather than discuss Gundabad piecemeal here and there, for the moment I will reserve the talk about Gundabad for the main overviews, the main developer diaries. And probably only the first and second, so in the videos this week, unless... in next week, sorry. This is, of course, still last week, which makes no sense. But, the first developer diary was in the rotation of videos that this video finds itself in. And I don't want to talk about Gundabad piecemeal in the rest of the ones this week. So I shan't talk about Gundabad, and I'll try to just speak about Lothlórien. We're moving troops over, aren't we? Yes. Nimtolian.
For the light! Swiftly.
Is moving down to there so that Kuga Kilon can move up and become the Guardian of Amun Lank, and the army there, led under High Marchwarden Haldir, can move out. Because we need to move our army away from Dor Lingvar, ideally. But where to go next is the question. Where? Do we have a spy? Yes, we do. You there. The enemy's not doing anything, so come over here.
Approaching quietly. I shall continue.
Your services could be better used elsewhere.
My lord. Tomorrow's journey planned out.
He's off in the hills of Dunland. Not worrying about a thing. Roaming around the Dunish heartlands. Oh, we've got some cavalry coming shortly as well. I'd quite like to move this army out already, to be honest. If I leave 4 behind, yeah, they're not going to be happy about that. They're really going to hate us. Anything that we can destroy, actually, I didn't think. No. You might have to leave someone else behind. But I don't want to leave the...
Onward!
55, yeah, that'll be alright.
Come, my brothers! Onward!
Narrows of Mirkwood or the East Bight. Let's go to the Narrows of Mirkwood because there's troops roaming around over here.
Scout the area.
Aha, there we are.
Stay alert! Engage!
Oh, hello there. You appear to be a Nazgul general. I mean, Lank doesn't like us either. No one likes us. No one wants to be ruled by us, noble that we are.
Elves.
I don't really want to keep that army in there, it's a waste.
Elven warriors. Come on!
And we've got 2 turns until he can arrive. If we can take Ostingyle as well, Vanimon will not need to sit in Roscoe, but then Vanimon can move over to Ostingyle and defend there. So if we keep those as they are, we'll just have to wait. We will just have to wait. So Haldir do go back in there and just sit there for the time being and end the turn. Where will Dol Guldur go? Will they pull back to Ostingyle and try and hold the Town of the Stars, or will they keep trying to retake Dol Guldur? Dorlingvar, of course, is relatively exposed out on the edge there as well, but I'm not concerned if that falls and we take it, and it falls and we take it. I'd like to hold Amulank now to retain its monetary bonuses. I'm not as concerned about Dorlingvar. But it does look like they've pulled back to the Town of the Stars, and they're going to hold there, in the Narrows of Mirkwood. Some things I would like to clear up about Gundabad, a few minor kind of lore points. Oh, a faction has been destroyed. And there's rioting in Dorlingvar. The clans of Ennard White have been destroyed. No. Arad and I have allied with Mordor. Come now, friends. Be kind. You're building. You're more important to build than Dorlingvar, I think. Although I don't know. What's your elven culture here? 14%. And what's it in Dorlingvar? 18%. It's more elven here, so chuck an elven studio in over there. They'll like us quicker.
Elves! Take it for the elves! Lay it to ruins!
Maintain siege if it's a village.
Your weapons ready, elves!
No point rushing in and getting ourselves killed. Ah, an army's coming. Bugger.
Onward!
Hold on, we got cavalry.
Elven warriors! Come on!
They'll get there
Set up an
same time as the orcs. Bugger. Or turn behind. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, hello.
Elven warriors! Onward!
Yes, please.
Seal our movements.
Oh, sorry, Rohan. But I need to get through. Right. First of all, just to say that Divide and Conquer is based, of course, on Lord of the Rings. And we try to stick to the lore wherever this is possible. But of course, there are places where we stretch the lore. Now, in my head, I always seen this as quite different from breaking the law. I think there's two clear paths here. Breaking the law is knowing something is a fact and blatantly disregarding it for no other reason than, and for whatever reason. It doesn't matter the reason, it's just that this is a thing and we're going to disregard it. Stretching the law is what I would consider adapting a legal... not illegal, sorry, my brain's still at work, is adapting a law aspect to suit a certain need. And I think Divide and Conquer always stretches the law, or frequently does, but doesn't necessarily break it. I would also say that breaking the law normally surmounts to something more severe. For example, a big break to the law would be adding Numenor as a faction. It's just completely nonsensical. However, a stretch to the law is to assume that the Númenórean survivors, the Dark Númenóreans who lived further south of Umbar, a stretch to the law would be to suggest that maybe they grouped up together and they've come back to Middle-earth to fight again. Which is exactly our premise behind the Arad Anayim. And the point of it, or not the point of it, but we stretch the law in places whereby it would add or further DaC's kind of mission statement, if you will, which is to expand on the rosters and factions of the base game. And so whilst Third Age Total War may be quite lore accurate, and whilst DaC tries to retain this, we're never going to be 100% lore accurate because the goal of DaC is to add underrepresented factions or factions that weren't really present in the War of the Ring and make them present.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
And so the reason I say this is because with the Gundabad change recently, there's been a lot of people that suggest that XYZ is a complete break to the law and utterly moronic. And we always try and rebut that with, but if we stayed completely true to the law, then the factions available to a fitting commander of Middle-earth would pretty much just be Gondor, Rohan, Isengard, Mordor, and that's about it. Those were the key main factions in the Third Age. Okay, yes, you could also add the Easterlings as their own standalone, but you'd have to have Harad pretty much represented by Mordor because they only really fought with Mordor in the Third Age, or the War of the Ring. The Dwarves would be present, but they'd never leave Erebor. The Elves would be present, but they'd never leave Thranduil's halls. Imladris wouldn't be a faction, there just simply aren't enough elves in Imladris to make them a faction. Lindon wouldn't be a faction for the same token. Lothlórien would be, but again, they would never leave Lothlórien. Khazad-dum would not be a faction, they're obviously dead. The Misty Mountains at the time of the War of the Ring are a random assembling of goblins that live in various different tribes and clans and are no way a combined, united force spread throughout the mountains. So the point I'm trying to make, quite by blustering and blundering my way through, is that we've got to stretch the lore in places, otherwise DaC just simply wouldn't be. And if it's pure lore accuracy you're after, then I'm afraid you're just not going to get it with a mod. So there we are, I just wanted to say that. But, however, we do try to stick to the lore wherever possible, and the reason I say this is because it is of course well documented that Azog, everyone's favourite defiler, was long dead by the time of the War of the Ring. So, for example, in Divide and Conquer, Boromir should only be 1 year of age when the game starts, because you'll note that it starts in 2980 and not 3019, and at that time he was only 1 year old. But of course we make Boromir older because he is such an iconic general, and it is not too much of a little minor change to change his birth date by 30 years. However, Azog, of course, died 220 years ago, and to change his birthday, I would submit, is a massive stretch to the lore, and would then tip over into what I would categorise as a break. The same can be said of Bolg, of course, who died some 70 years ago. That is just too far away to suddenly bring him back to life. And it would also dampen the effects of The Hobbit. It would completely waste them. And I only say this because, of course, Azog and Bolg were requested as generals for Gundabad, and we're just never going to do that because it is too much of a break. But Bolg's champions, the unit for the Misty Mountains, will likely move to Gundabad, or the name will move to Gundabad, the unit won't. And so don't worry about that. But in replacing them, they will probably be called something along the line of Azog's
Only
something.
half the enemy force remains.
Because, of course, when Azog actually did appear in the story, he is only present in Moria, where he kills, whichever one it is, Thorin, Thrain, Thror, where he kills Thror, and then he himself is beheaded by Dane at the Battle of Azal-Nulbizar. I always try and say that word quickly, and I always stutter halfway through. Azal-Nulbizar, or Nanduhirion, as the elves called it. And he was killed there 220 odd years ago. So he's very much a Moria general. So we are going to reflect that in the name and give him a Moria remembrance. Now what I am going to do now, though, is just to turn back to this battle, as it's been nothing but a shooting gallery thus far. And because we're being attacked by more forces, I think Celeborn can take 24 Castellans on, so we'll charge him in. Spears out, you fools! What are you going to do, punch him in the face? There we are, spears out. Oh, they're already down to... oh, they're getting slaughtered.
The battle is very much in our favour.
That was an absolute massacre. That was a perfect example of how stun locking can just totally trash a unit. Even one with stats like the Castellans of Dol Guldur. Well, I'm pleased that went so well. We'll just wait for him to kill that Nazgul. Of course, we have Amun Lank, so the Nazgul will not be respawning anytime soon. Oh, no way. I didn't realise it was Khamûl. I didn't read the screen properly. Oh, for God's sake. We've got to kill Khamûl. And he's never going to let me shoot him. He's going to roam around like a little... a thorn. For want of a better word. We're going to need Celeborn to kill Khamûl. He's the only anti-cavalry unit we've got. But first of all, he's got 2 of these Castellans left to kill. But they're not surrounded anymore. Come on.
Our valor will stand.
Yes, it will. But kill these people. There we go, down he goes. And yes! Hormarath falls too. Right, what we're going to do... How are we going to... I don't like using the word gunner. How are we going to make sure that Celeborn attacks Khamûl? If Khamûl is able to break into our other units, it's going to be a right pain in the backside. Basically because in a single charge he can kill all of our archers. But we can minimise his impact by going wide formation actually. He hits less people. I'm just very concerned that Khamûl is definitely going to try and bypass Celeborn, who we are going to need to get right up in there on that flank. Shoot Khamûl. Oh, they've got some archers of their own, but that's right. Fire as much as you like. Khamûl is being shot at by Celeborn relentlessly, but he's protected by the trees. Come out of time 6, moron. Alright, Celeborn is engaged. You're not engaged, are you? No. You just haven't found the right woman yet. Shoot them, and you shoot them. Keep Celeborn alive. Cavalry of our own. There's something else out there, isn't there? Mirkwood Hunters, there they are.
Like this,
oh, and there's a
we will
load of them
smash
there in the middle.
enemy.
You gentlemen, change target. Oh, you're out of arrows. Oh, bugger. No, we need Celeborn to keep on Khamûl. Ah, very well. They're out of arrows. This was always going to be a threat. There we are, look at him changing positions. I know exactly where you're going, you scum bucket! Run. Come on, Celeborn! Disengage! Oh, you guys still have some arrows left. I hate that we added this stupid AI that actually knows how to use cavalry. Oh yeah, by all means. Act like utter morons. Christ alive. Start shooting units that don't mean anything to anyone. I'm not bothered about any of the lesser tier troops. Our archers will eat them for breakfast. We just need to kill Khamûl. We're doing alright though. Every time he gets locked with Celeborn, he gets killed. Celeborn outclasses him severely. More of our cavalry charging into those Mirkwood Hunters. Very nice to see. I'm not too bothered about losing troops in this battle, to be honest, because this is a huge battle. Khamûl and Hormarath of Deer, both in the same army. Oh, they hit nicely. Right into a solid pack of the enemy. Khamûl is down to 24. Celeborn's still holding on. They won't rout, of course. With the faction leader in tow, they're going to be fighting against us till the last orc dies. Or we run into them enough that they just totally break. It's over. It is over. Pull those archers away before they die, though, because only Celeborn's bodyguard's really good against Khamûl. Alright, and now it is literally just waiting for Khamûl to die. How many did we lose? 36%. That's not good. Got some nice shots in on him there. Now he's on his own. He might kill one in a charge, but he's not really doing anything that we're too concerned about.
Our men have slain the enemy.
Yes!
The field. Our
Yes!
foe is utterly vanquished. Let all who remember
235,
this day
258.
remember it as the day
Well
of
done. Destruction of Gondolin. Well done. Yes. There's a slim chance. No, there isn't. I was going to say there is a slim chance that we may have just killed Dol Guldur through regicide. A genocide might be the right word, but we haven't, because of course we added that thing where we send an heir off into the corner of the map to spend the whole game there. And for some reason, for other factions it doesn't seem to work, but for Dol Guldur it does. I don't really know why, but But basically all I mean by that is that their family tree can never be destroyed because they've got a family member standing in the top right-hand corner of the map who can't die. Or certainly he could die of old age, but that takes about 400 turns. And so that's an awful long time. And if a family, if a nation is dying after about 200 turns, no matter how they do it, we're not too fussed. Oh, Turin. Interesting. No, I don't really want you at the moment. Ah, we've just reached the barracks event. More rioting in Dorling.
Yes, what is it you wish to discuss? It's good. Another proposition for us, then?
Would you give me 1,000 gold coins for my map information? Yes, you would.
Seems like a most... Well, that seemed fruitful. Farewell.
Oh, we got rewarded 500 coins for doing it anyway, and suddenly we're swimming in money. Oh, and look, that army just pulled back because... Oh, look, our buildings are being... destroyed. No. How? What word did I just say that sounded like "Hi, Bigsby"? This stupid phone. Go away. Bloody voice activation. And then she'll tell me that she can't understand what I'm saying right in the middle of me saying something, and it'll be annoying as all hell.
Elves! For the light!
You are going to be the garrison of Aknodiorn.
Elves!
You're coming to Amunlank.
Elven
You're
warriors!
coming to Amunlank.
Come on! By the
You're...
light of Elbereth!
If I move you there, I'd feel like it's cheating because that's 2 generals defending the town, and it hasn't accidentally happened. That'd be 2 generals defending the town because I moved the general there, which is one of the things I'm not really supposed to do with the rules we've set up. Oh, actually, we might move the archers.
Elves.
No, move Vanimon. Move.
Elves, we must give up the road.
It likes us a lot at the moment, but it won't do as soon as Lord Celeborn the Mighty leaves it. It will hate us. It's quite close to being a proper town as well,
By the light
actually.
of Elbereth!
Ah, what should we build for you? Roads? Roads. No, hang on. Which one's the... Have we got all of the... Yes, we have. Carpenter's Hut as high as we can take it at the moment. Yeah, we'll go roads. You can get a port as well, actually. Oh, you've got 4 turns for the road first, so... Dorlingvar really doesn't like us, does it? I'm tempted to attack Captain Khazad-dum because our general in here, he can have... Oh, he can have 6 units, actually.
Elves. Ready, elves!
So he can govern these, command these units, that's okay. And we'll move them all to Amunlank and build Haldir's little army and send him out. We need to get some troops out to Dorlingvar because it's not liking us very much. And that art studio's done. I quite like the armory, actually. It'll come round. It'll come round, they always do. Now the army will stay there for 1 turn. I don't know if Muslug is going to come back or Nakra. Don't know what Nakra's stats are like.
My lord.
What is the next town?
Quietly.
Up
My
here.
lord. I shall continue.
Continue our romp through the forest. End the turn. North we march. To glory. There are quite a few changes happening to Gundabad, actually. It's taking all of my thought to not talk about the changes we're making to Gundabad because I really want to talk about them, but it'd be better to save it for a video devoted to Gundabad. Also, I'm not sure I should fight this battle because Belasvalainon is going to die. There's no way around that, and it also isn't even an archer unit, so we'll just accept the defeat. Fortunately, our general is standing 1 turn away from Aknodiorn and can return and take the town in a heartbeat, thus killing 2 more Dol Guldur armies that are roaming around our land, actually. And in fact, Haldir's army here in the south, this could be the army that we then take on to Dor Norhak to take it and secure that south.
No longer.
Another Kandish Khan is dead. That's interesting. Ruibert leatherworker. Communal farming, please. Khamûl Lank practice range. You're already building a barracks. Oh, yeah, I note there that you've got the Master Builder's Hall. Get that first, please. Dorlingvar still not very happy. Destroying everything. They're destroying everything!
Come, my brothers. I'm gonna stick you.
Yes, my lord.
There they are. By the light of Elbereth. Reinforcements.
We're going to have to just have Dol Guldur not like us for a time. Oh, that's a big Dol Guldur army up there, isn't it?
Impossible, my lord.
Central Mirkwood has fallen to the Woodland Realm.
I shall continue
Yes.
tomorrow.
Onward.
Oh, what an idiot.
Assail them!
What do they think they're going to get out of that? I'm going to auto-resolve, but I'm going to save it first, and if it's ridiculous, then I'll go back. 9, no, I can take 9.
We defeated them.
Come, my brothers.
Free upkeep.
Follow me. Scout the area. We will need that one.
We will need more towers.
We will need that one.
As many towers as we can produce, build, construct, capture, and control. But Dol Guldur is going to hate us when I leave behind only 11 archers as its defense.
Take it for the elves.
Ah, Gazlan, you're going to regret this. This battle will likely end today's episode. We'll just fight it out. We've got to fight all these little meaningless ones, I'm afraid. The enemies that I want to fight, there's Aragorn coming to Minas Tirith. The enemies that I want to fight are Rohan, Anduin, and the Woodland Realm. I'd love to pit Lothlórien against the Woodland Realm. The whole reason why I broke the alliance with them shortly after accepting it.
We offer bows from Lorien. Stand back.
Oh, no, I want you. That's what I wanted to do. Right, they've got an archer unit that we want to pin down. But this unit is hidden. If we keep them there. Don't fire at will for the moment. Oh, they've moved all the way over there. Now, we outranged them, even with them sitting on their little hill. I say sitting. Of course, I mean cowering. Oh, I didn't realise their colour scheme was green. I wonder when that change was made. That's a good change. Actually, some colour on an orc unit. Oh, well done. That sounded really condescending, didn't it? I don't mean it to sound condescending. I like that change, Hummingbird. Good change. Now, I think the AI, though, when it knows where a unit is, it will not fall into the trap of charging said unit. So if I move my Gurthinen to there, and those guys to there, the AI will remember where the Gurthinen hid and just be ready when they then spring upon them. One of these units shoots us, though. There they are. There they are. I've got scouts as well, the javelins and archers in this army. Can I ask why you're still walking when you're well within range?
If we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Damn right we will. Our archers will suddenly get more effective as that rain stops as well. We're not doing very well against those scouts because of how big they've made their formation though.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Oh, we've lost loads of our own archers. Looks like you might do better if you just bloody charge in at this rate. %27%. Just keep them running. Oh, that's a tactic I never thought of. Oh, I've never thought of that. Are you threatening to run away? No, you're just tired.
If the enemy general flees like the coward he is, our men have captured the enemy general. Guard him well and make it so he can see us defeat the rest of his army. The enemy army flees the field. Pursue and run them down.
Capture as many as you can. Come on. I know you're tired, but you're supposed to be faster than them. Dirty bastards. They killed far too many of us.
Victory we have won here today.
84 for that 5-4-6. I should have targeted the archers. I hate archers battles. Because you always lose archers no matter how crap the enemy archers are. Your archers, they could be doing 3,000 damage with every arrow and they will still need 9 to 10 volleys to bring the enemy down. And in all that time, the enemy is shooting back at you, and no matter how lithe an elf might be, an arrow to the face rather pins you to the ground, doesn't it? Even if it is from an orc. See, the beauty as well, or the problem rather, with inaccuracy, is that because the units, of course, stand near each other, the orc might target the 4th elf from the right and miss him, but that doesn't mean he's going to miss all of the elves standing around him. And so there's still a chance that he's going to do quite a successful attack against you. It's very frustrating. Why does this place still hate us? It's 22% elven now. And we killed everyone. There's only 1,000 people here. Buggers.
By the light of
Dol Guldur scum is what they are. But anyway, I'm going to end the episode there, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. I look forward to reading your comments, and stay tuned for one faction overview, and that will be the end of this week's rotation, or this week's set of 4, and then we move on to next week's set of 4, which, as I say, probably will include a developer diary rather than a Boromir lore video, because there's a lot of changes happening to Gundabad this weekend, and we can show them all off to you in another developer diary. There's other changes as well as the Gundabad changes as well, so stay tuned. But for now, thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have, and until we speak again, dear friends, Navarna den Perimad Melonin, and farewell.